Hey guys, it's Cal from the Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys enjoy this video with some more great landscape lighting tips. To learn more about landscape lighting, go and check out our website at lightingdoctor.ca, or if you want to see what a real quality landscape light should look like, go and check out our Try It Before You Buy It offer, where you can get a premium quality fixture at a discounted rate with your very own battery pack, so you can go and test out how that light's going to look and feel what a real premium quality light should look like. So go and check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or go watch more videos on YouTube just by searching for the Lighting Doctor. Hey guys, so something else we did on this project, and you might not see it the best, but we got this beautiful, beautiful pond here. It almost looks like grass because it's all grown in with lilies and stuff, so it looks really, really cool. We wanted to definitely feature that, this nice patio area that they have, so we did get some path lights kind of in the back there along the house, which are starting to look real good. We've got one really, really nice feature tree here behind the pond, and that's directly where they're looking out from their kitchen table. So we wanted to make sure we highlight that. So we actually used two on that one again because it's a big wide tree. We wanted to get two angles and two lights to really catch as much of that canopy as possible, and that's our featured tree. So I would rather focus more lights on a featured tree like that than trying to put a whole bunch of lights around the whole area. Something else we did is with our path lights, because we wanted to cast some water down on that pond, we did put a couple of those in some kind of cool waterfall areas that are going to cast that light down on that pond, define the edges of the sitting area, and make this look really good too. So some path lights, some simple up lights. Again, 2-3 kinds of lights we use all the time, but you can do so many different things with them. Our last use of uplights on this house is to uplight our tall columnar aspens, which you see all the time. The one thing I see most people do though is they'll try and light every single tree, and before you know it, you've got 17 lights in your backyard, and it's just a lot of the times it's overkill and it's too much. You can always add more lights down the road, but what I recommend is starting with a few trees. So what we've done here is we've got about 8 or 9 of these tall trees in the back. We've only selected to light approximately every second one. We're going to light the two on the corner and then 2 of the taller ones kind of in the middle, and that's it. So instead of having 9 lights back here, which not only runs up the cost, also can just be a little bit overpowering, we're just focusing on a few of the featured trees and just space them out properly to give that effect, and not to overdo it. So we've got 4 lights where we could easily have 9 or 10, but if you're looking to keep your budget down and still make it look good, a great way to do it is just start with less. Again, you can always add more down the road. So I'll just share with you guys one little trick, something called a Hex Baffle. Where we use these is just to deflect the glare off the uplight. So sometimes if you have an uplight like this that's close to an area where people are going to be walking, it's not necessarily going to be pointing in their face or in their eyes or anything, but just to help keep that light a little bit more concentrated when they're looking at it from an angle, we're using something called a Hex Baffle. It basically just slides underneath the cap of your light and goes over the lens, over the light and under the lens, and snaps back on. And then all that's going to do is just deflect the light that's being maybe portrayed that way. So as somebody looking down, they're not going to see a light shining right up in your eyes. So this is a great little tip to use anytime you have a high traffic area where people might be walking by the light, so they're not shining directly into their eyes. So I just want to show you, we're going to use our accent light a whole bunch in this property, and a lot of common areas we're going to use that is on some nice trees. We got a really nice tree here that we're going to try and focus on, but one thing I see people do too often, or more times than not, is instead of trying to get that light nice and close to the tree and having it shine up, so you're taking advantage of all the barking structure and then all the branching up top, is they'll bring it far back and try and aim it at the tree, and what happens there is they tend to miss a lot of the lower portions of the trees. And then also when it depending on the area you live in, if you start losing a lot of foliage in the wintertime, then having that light shine at all the foliage is kind of a waste of time, and you lose a lot of the effect of that light. That's why I like having it closer to the tree. Here we're maybe 12, 14, 18 inches away from the base. We're going to have it shooting almost straight up because I want to highlight all this trunking and branching structure as possible, as well as now we're getting that light up into the foliage and into the canopy. So again, with our standard RS uplight from FX Luminaire, there's lots of other good ones out there. I like this guy because it's a real workhorse, and that's what we're going to use on this project. So I will give you guys one last quick tip for your landscape lighting system. If you want to make it a smart system and a Wi-Fi system and easier to operate, you can go get something like this. It's a Wion outdoor Wi-Fi outlet. There's lots of smart outlets out there. I just like this one because it's designed to go outside. It's super easy to use. It's compatible with Amazon Alexa, and basically all you need to do is take it out of the box, plug it into your GFCI receptacle, plug your transformer into this, and then put your transformer in the on position, and then just let this do all the programming for you. It's nice because you can still have it work with dawn to dusk, and as well as it's got about 7 or 8 different programming options, so it just makes your system super easy to use. Plus you can operate it from anywhere in the world because it is Wi-Fi and cloud based. So it's just a simple way to make your system a smart Wi-Fi system. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools on how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video, just send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property. And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.